Hi, it's Sue Painter with Travel Changes Life. I want to talk a little bit today about the differences in pricing because if you are looking at a land tour, and let's say you're going to go to Italy and you're looking at two or three companies, and one company is a couple of $1,000s more than the other company, and you don't really understand the difference because they're going to the exact same cities and they're seeing some of the exact same tourist attractions. But there is a difference, and I can tell you why the pricing is as it is. So here's one big factor. You can use a tour company that will use cheaper hotels. They will use 2+ or 3-star hotels, and these hotels are typically not located in the city center. So you're going to be out of the city center of, say, London or Paris or Florence or one of the bigger cities that you might be visiting, Barcelona. That means that you're not going to be able to get out and walk to the city center and to the things that you might want to do for extra sightseeing or for dinners or just to explore. You're going to have to find a taxi, and you're going to have to take the taxi or a bus into the city center, and then you're going to have to think about and worry about getting a taxi or a bus back out to your hotel. If the tour company is pretty budget, then more than likely the hotels are going to be way, way out at the airport, which could be miles and miles and miles from the city center. On the other hand, if you pick a tour that has a higher price point, more than likely you're going to see that you're going to be in either a 3+ or a 4-star hotel, or at the higher end, a 5-star hotel, and you're going to be much better located in the city center. So in Rome, for instance, you might be right down from some of the things you want to walk to see in Rome. Or in Florence, you might be right in the city center within walking distance of getting to over to the Uffizi or Ponte Vecchio or wherever else you want to go to see in Florence. So hotel location is one of the prime things about the cost of hotels in city centers. And the thing about it is, when you're traveling, time is money. You only have a certain amount of time to see the things you want to see in those cities. And so what's going to happen is you're going to spend extra time and you're going to spend extra money finding the ground transportation to go back and forth. Whereas if you're at a really great hotel right in the city center, you're saving yourself time, you're walking out the door. One of the other issues might be the meals provided. In some of the higher end tours, you will probably have more meals provided. This might be evening events where you're going to a local restaurant and maybe you're seeing music or you're seeing a show along with the meal. Now, this kind of cuts both ways. If you're like me, you don't want every single meal provided because you want to go out and explore and you want to go find your own special places that you'll remember, a tapas bar in Barcelona or a place that you had tea in London, those kinds of things. But you always want to at least get started with a good breakfast in the morning because you don't want to have to hassle around and find that and find your coffee. And so if you look at the tour, make sure you understand the meals that are included. Some will be group meals. Maybe some will be lunches because you're out touring during the day and you're going to stop at a special place for lunch. But you want to have some, in my opinion, that are on your own, and not every single solitary meal is provided. Now, at very high-end tour companies, they will just give you, you will be able to go into the restaurant of the hotel or wherever else they're placing you for that evening, and you'll be able to order off the menu anything that you want. Whereas a lower budget price tour, they will have a set dinner that you will get, and everybody will get the same thing. So there are all these different subtle differences about tour companies, and that's one reason that I examine them. I meet with the heads of these tour companies and the suppliers, their business development managers. I know what they're offering, I know what they're not offering, and I'm experienced enough to be able to take a look and understand why this one is priced less than this one and whether that's worth it for you or not worth it for you. You want to buy travel based on the experiences that you will have. The experiences are going to be what you will remember and treasure. You don't want to set yourself up with a flight or a tour company or a cruise or even a private tour where you're going to have more hassle, and what you're going to remember are the hassles rather than the experience of the trip. So this is Sue Painter. I want to invite you to go over to travelchangeslife.com/travel news. You can leave your name and your email address. Twice a month only, I send out an email with some of the tips and resources that I know about travel, some of the trips that I have vetted that I think are reasonable in price for what they offer. And you won't get a ton of emails from me. You'll get 2 a month, maybe sometimes 3 if I see something I really want you to know about. So that's it for today. This is Sue with Travel Changes Life, wishing you tons of great experiences around the world. Bye-bye.